What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing great. To get us started in today's video, we've got a tweet from Swift. The Swift community shared on their Twitter page saying that the G20 has made improving the cross-border movement of value a key priority across 4 areas: speed, lower costs, transparency, and accessibility. We share this vision too, and in 2022, we've made great progress. As always, welcome back to Moneyside, your favorite crypto news channel. If you're new here, welcome to the XRP Army. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on our daily crypto news updates. In more interesting headlines today, we've got another exciting update from Ripple. They shared how there was incredible energy at Ripple Swell Global 2022 around the real-world benefits of crypto-powered business solutions. Here are some of the best moments from this year's event.
The financial industry needs to come on board. There is no other way for blockchain and these business models to go mainstream without the financial industry. We are seeing enormous amounts of demand from our financial institutions, traditional players who say, how do I get in there and provide solutions that my consumers are asking for?
Crypto means business. Together with regulatory clarity, we'll make sure that transparency and trust are the bedrock of what crypto is built on.
I'm a big proponent that we should be regulating activity, but not technology. We end up all tied up in thinking about crypto. We ignore some of the real benefits that can bring on a B2B level for moving value around the world.
Most of us here are all trailblazers to these technologies. We came onto the Ripple net first and then found a case with the ODL and then moved to the next level.
It's absolutely huge. We can scale up, scale down. We know when our peaks are and we can give the Ripple team a heads up. It's just an incredible, liberating process. We want to grow. There's no roadblocks to that.
A lot of banks are saying we are tech companies giving financial solutions. It's not the fiat world and the crypto world. It's all embedded.
One of the things that we find very important about blockchain, and specifically XRP, is this ability to have individuation for these carbon credits as they come through. That's super important to developing the carbon market.
I truly think that CBDCs will be an enabler of innovation. There's literally endless potential use cases.
Your courage to build with us is helping create a game-changing infrastructure that really better the world.
So Gary Gensler knows that FTX was fraudulent from its inception. This is egregious, considering that he had more meetings with Bankman-Fried than anyone in the space to discuss a crypto regulatory framework designed to benefit FTX alone. He will be held accountable. More updates on what's going on with the SBF FTX case. We have some updates from Tom Emmer. He shared via his Twitter feed that while Bankman-Fried is in custody, John Ray assisted our committee's investigation into SBF's con. Ray committed to providing my office with correspondence between FTX and the SEC, as well as details into the nature and scale of FTX's investment into IEX. My office looks forward to working with Ray's team to uncover the extent to which the SEC was negotiating backroom regulatory deals with FTX and IEX at the expense of American investors. Tom Emmer is really gunning down Chair Gensler, and I hope when he finally manages to end his corny ways, he can finally show Gary that new day.
We know that Chair Gensler had more meetings with FTX than anyone else in the crypto industry. We understand that what was being negotiated was a framework for digital asset exchange registration and token registration with the SEC that would benefit both parties. It would expand the SEC's jurisdiction in exchange for the SEC's preferential treatment of FTX over other industry participants. We understand there was a lot of activity to move this idea forward, including the circulation of draft short-form disclosures that would enable filers to get tokens listed on this newly formed bespoke exchange. Mr. Ray, I know you're handicapped with the information you currently have obtained, but Chair Gensler refuses to answer our questions or testify before this committee. Will you commit to sharing with this committee any internal documents you come across regarding communication between FTX and Mr. Gensler or others at the SEC?
We'll fully cooperate, with committee and the regulatory authorities with respect to our investigation.
Again, specifically, I just want copies that this committee will want copies of those communications to the extent they exist.
We can certainly work with your staff to get you what you need.
Thank you. And Mr. Ray, I appreciate you mentioning your concerns in the beginning of my questioning about the concentration of power in a small group of individuals with no oversight. That is the exact problem that open and permissionless technology like crypto and blockchain solve. It solves for the problems of centralization. You stated in your testimony that you've never seen such a, quote, utter failure of corporate controls at every level of an organization, from the lack of financial statements to a complete failure of any internal controls or governance whatsoever, close quote. FTX had disastrous or even non-existent systems for accounting, audit, cash management, cybersecurity, human resources, risk management, and other unacceptable management practices that currently make your job to uncover the facts quite difficult. Fortunately, the immutable characteristics of public blockchains that some people would care not to understand in this committee allowed the crypto community to reveal Sam Bankman-Fried's fraud, and the on-chain public record will assist law enforcement moving forward. I encourage my colleagues to understand Sam Bankman-Fried's con for what it is: a failure of centralization, a failure of business ethics, and a crime. It is not a failure of technology. I've worked across the aisle since I came to Congress, so the future of crypto reflects American values, the same way the internet does today. For the most engaged members of Congress on crypto policy, the FTX collapse reminds us of why we care so deeply about this technology. Decentralization is the point. Thank you, and I yield back.
And what everyone doesn't know is that this whole situation is much worse than anyone ever thought. Just listen to this.
Let me dive in. A day after FTX filed for bankruptcy, multiple outlets reported that there was a hack or a potential theft. You have stated unauthorized access to certain assets occurred and that the company was in touch with law enforcement officials and regulators. Have you determined whether, in fact, assets were moved out after the bankruptcy?
Yes, clearly there was assets moved out after the bankruptcy.
And do you know whether or not that was an actual hack, or was this done, as has been reported, at the direction of the Bahamian authorities?
It was both.
It was both. And so some was done. Some was done as a result of a hack. Some was done as a result of the request of the Bahamian authorities.
Yes, that's right.
And do you have indication as to why the Bahamian authorities made that request?
Well, it wasn't a request. They just took it.
The Bahamian authorities took the funds that were at FTX
Yes.
through their own action. Was no action required by FTX employees? Maybe you could provide just a little color.
They were aided by the ex-employees, yes.
They were aided by former employees of FTX.
Yes, Mr. Wang and Mr. Fried.
Is it in the eyes of the Bahamian authorities, did this to protect clients and creditors? What was the do you have insight into the motivation behind this action?
Unlike the Chapter 11 process, there's no transparency in the process in the Bahamians, and we've repeatedly asked them for clarity about what they've been doing, and we've been shut down on that.
Yeah, I don't know him personally and probably don't want to, but his testimony is so disrespectful. I mean, there's not a person up here who would like to show this to their children in line 2 of this missive. He says, and I quote, "I would like to start out by formally stating under oath." You can't say it. And I can't even say it publicly. The next 2 words, absolutely insulting. This is the Congress of the United States. And I'd like to submit this, Madam Chair, for the record.
Without objection, if you're inserting that into the record. Without objection, such is the order.
According to Whale Chart, Dr. Craig Wright did a complete analysis of the spread from the top 45 exchanges. More than 29 million Bitcoin was for sale. There are 19 million Bitcoins mined so far. Withdraw your crypto. Get your coins out of exchanges. Another tweet from Whale Chart shows that, in fact, there were more than $1.9 billion in withdrawals from Binance over the last 24 hours. Following the big outflow of money from Binance, investors have been wary of what might happen. In fact, blockchain backer even tweeted, "I'm not for causing panic over things I have zero way to corroborate." But there's big outflows from Binance, confirmed by CZ. Keeping coins on exchanges is dicey in this environment. And right now, the eyes are on Binance. Self-custody. CZ Binance confirmed the same when he tweeted, "We saw some withdrawals today, net 1.14 billion-ish. We have seen this before. Some days we have net withdrawals. Some days we have net deposits. Business as usual for us. I actually think it is a good idea to stress test withdrawals on each CEX on a rotating basis. It costs some network fees to run these tests, but keeps the industry healthy. Exchange business is simple. All we can say is big props to Binance for handling such massive withdrawals efficiently." As always, do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can let us know always what you think in the comment section below. Let's start a conversation. Thank you so much for watching. Couldn't be here without you. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below. And be sure to turn on notifications. That way you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next Money Side.